Hey y'all, JC the Sniper back with yet another knife review video. And today I'm going to be reviewing another Cold Steel knife. Now, if you've seen my videos, you may have seen my Cold Steel Voyager. Now, this is the old style Voyager, not the oldest one. The oldest one had that stupid plastic clip and some other wonky stuff going on. Not quite as nice in my opinion. This one I think is the best Voyager Cold Steel's ever made. The medium-sized clip point blade, second generation Voyager. Just an excellently designed blade. Pin construction, but it stays really tight, very nice. Good grip on the handle. Very, nice large handle. You get a lot of real estate to get a grip on. Nice large blade, very nice blade shape. You get a strong tip, but it's still a piercing tip. You get some nice belly on your blade for cutting stuff. Just a very well designed knife. Nice back lock, good clip, blackened clip. Just very nice. I like it. I like it for a lot of reasons. It's very light. I'll carry this a lot of times if I'm wearing something like a suit or something, and I want a lighter knife that doesn't stand out real well, but if I needed it, it would be there for me. Now, Cold Steel has since discontinued this version of the Voyager, my favorite version. So it's a sad day. They don't make those anymore, and because of that, the price has gone up. Not huge, but the price has definitely gone up on them. However, they came out with a new Voyager. Now, I'm not as big a fan of the new Voyager for several reasons. However, I picked one up, I got a bargain on it, couldn't resist, and I got the Voyager Vaquero, the new version. Medium-sized one. Not medium. This is the large, but the middle size. Voyager Vaquero. And actually I got a small one too, but I'll do a separate review video on that. Now, there are several things I don't like as much as the old one. First of all, this blade shape I think is just awesome. I think it looks cool. I think it's just awesome. The new ones are all full flat ground, which generally I prefer. However, I prefer this over the new versions. The new clip point version of the Voyager I just don't think is quite as cool looking. I think this is a neater looking blade. Functionally, there's probably not a huge difference, but I just like the way this looks. I think it's really cool. Now, hits on the new one. Well, this is my biggest complaint. Do you see how much thicker that new Voyager is? Look how much fatter that thing is. Like, there's a significant difference. It's a whole lot thicker. That's sitting flat right next to each other. There's a significant difference in thickness between the two. And in general, I prefer that my knives stay slim. That's one of the things I liked about this, was it's so slender. One of the things I like about my Spyderco Military, it's a lot more slender than this one. One of the things that I like about the Almar Eagle, which if you've seen the video, there's some negatives about this knife, but one of the positives is it's very slender. You cannot say that about this new Cold Steel Voyager. This Blackhawk Be Warned, still more slender. This is a pretty thick knife. My Benchmade 950 Rift, Osborne design, still not as thick. And this is a thick, heavy knife. So, I just don't know. I don't understand why they made it that thick. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, these handle scales are fat. Look at how thick they are. Like, I understand that, They put the Triad-Lock in this one. They need a little bit, maybe more thickness to make the Triad-Lock as strong as they want. But make the handle scales thinner. Put some thinner handle scales on there, and it's not a problem. I just don't know why. I mean, you can do... Here's the, you know, the Kershaw OD1 or OD2. I don't remember which one. Doesn't say. Whatever. The little OD... It's got the thin, you know, it's got the same kind of FRN handle scales, but they're thin. Look how thin those are. Why couldn't they have done that? I just don't understand. So, for whatever reason, they made the thing frickin' fat. So, I don't like the blade shape as well. I don't like the blade offerings as well on the new ones. I don't like how thick it is. Those are basically my two main complaints. So, now we'll break into the discussion on the Cold Steel Voyager. Honestly, I bought this because it was a deal. I didn't buy it because I was like, oh, that's really cool. I bought it because it was a deal, and I was like, yeah, I'll add that one to my collection because I collect knives primarily. You know, I do use knives, and I like them, but I don't need all these knives. You know, I got, we'll just look at this table right now. Let me pull back a little bit so y'all can see what I got here. You know, I just got like a crap load of knives sitting around on this table. I don't need that many knives. I have that many knives because I like them and I collect them. Not because, you know, I need them necessarily. But, anyway, I added this one to my collection because I thought it was kind of, you know, it's weird, it's kind of interesting. It'd be a cool collection knife. And I got it, and it has since grown on me. So I actually do have some nice things to say about it. Still like the old Voyagers better, but this one's decent. You know, it has a nice blade. It's pretty good quality. You know, it comes razor sharp from Cold Steel, and I believe it's their VG1 steel, same as the old Voyager. But you know, it's a nice solid 4-inch blade. And the blade shape is a little wonky, if we're to be honest. However, for defensive purposes, this blade is pretty nice. This blade will friggin' do some damage. That's basically what in my opinion, that's what this blade is designed for. I will not use this for any kind of EDC cutting tasks. This is an emergency defensive blade only. Now, if you get one of the other blade styles, you can use it for some EDC. This Vaquero, no. This Vaquero is for cutting people. And that, for me, is why that blade is shaped like that. Because that's designed so that when I swing it at somebody and I strike them, it's going to impact their flesh in such a manner that it drags along there. And you know, when I hit, it's hitting with a curving edge, regardless of where I hit, because that will help make a cut. So it hits with that curve, and optimally, if you would want to strike right there, just where the curve starts to go up, to get the most cutting power out of it, because that's going to bite deep and it's going to do some serious damage. So for me, that's primarily the design of this, cutting people. Now, you also get a nice stabbing tip. You could plunge that into somebody pretty dang good. It's very sharp, and it's very, very pointed. It's just a wicked blade for self-defense. You could really, really get somebody with that thing. So for that purpose, you know, it's a pretty good blade shape. I like the stonewash finish on it. It's pretty nice. Nice stonewash finish. So yeah, for that, very good. Now, the other thing I like about it is it comes out fast. For the size of the blade, it comes out very quickly. For a big old 4-inch thick blade, it pops out there fast. Also, yeah, the blade stock's very thick for a folding knife. So, very impressed with that. The speed is very good. As you can see, I don't have to use much wrist at all to pop that out there. That's mostly thumb. You can also swing it out if you want. I do that sometimes, but anyway, it pops out very nicely. Ergonomically, it's great. It feels excellent in your hand. It fits great. And it's got all these, you know, grooves and stuff So your hand just goes right in there and fits in there. There's no moving on this. There's no jimping on it. Well, there is jimping, but it sucks. That's pointless. That's aesthetic. Doesn't do anything to grip. But you don't need it because you lock in here. This stuff, very tractionable. Very, very good grip on this. And your hand just fits in there perfectly, locks in, and you're ready to go to town with it. Good in the reverse grip, good in the forward grip. It's just very, very nice gripping wise. Has nested steel liners. This is a heavy knife. You probably can't see in there very well because it's not flow through, but the steel liners are not milled at all. Solid steel liners nested into the FRN. So pretty dang solid. Very, very tough. And of course it's got the Triad-Lock, which is pretty fancy. If you want to read about the Triad-Lock, you can get on Cold Steel's website and see all about it. Primarily, some of the things about it is none of the force on the blade is transferred to the locking mechanism. Downward force on the blade is pushed into the locking mechanism and then into this stop pin here. And force this way, force coming up on the blade is directed directly into the stop pin. So all the force is primarily concentrated on the stop pin and the pivot of the blade. None of it goes into the lock, which makes the lock a lot stronger and it lasts better. It's a very good lock. It's very strong. They leave room for it to wear in, so it will actually lock in deeper over time and become stronger. You have to push it down quite a ways to get it to release. But it's very smooth. You can see it releases and just drops right down. Boom. Locks up solid. If you want to look at Cold Steel's website, you can see all kinds of crazy tests they do with these Triad-Locks. So it is a very strong lock. Probably the strongest lock of any folding knife, and I would say. But I don't necessarily need that. The old Voyager didn't have a Triad-Lock, and I felt like this was a strong lock. I had no complaints. This knife still locks up solid, and it feels strong to me. So, no problems with that. The old Voyager also didn't have steel liners. It was just straight FRN. And you may argue that it's not as strong. However, it was a lot lighter. That's the other place I'm going to hit this Voyager, is this one is so much lighter. That's one of the reasons that I would carry it on light clothing, like a suit or whatever. I would not do that with this, because it's thick and it's heavy. I don't know exactly the specs on the weight, but I'm just telling you, it's heavy. It's heavier than my Spyderco Military, for sure. And this is like a 4-ounce blade, a little over 4 ounces, I believe. So, not a light knife, probably close to 5 ounces. So, it is what it is. It's different. I don't like it quite as much as the old Voyager, but it's grown on me. You could do some serious damage with it. Ergonomically excellent. Grips nicely. Has a wicked blade shape for defense purposes. And just overall well put together. Cold Steel knows how to put knives together, and they will continue making nice knives. So regardless of whether you like it or not, you cannot say it's not a high quality knife. I guess that's about all I have to say about that one. JC the Sniper, signing off.